Most Toyota hybrid owners are quietly bleeding fuel every single month because of one overlooked battery drain setting buried inside their climate control system. It is not a defect. It is not a recall. It is a factory default that Toyota never explains clearly, and it forces the gasoline engine to run far more often than it should. Over a full year, this single setting can waste over $400 in fuel on a car specifically designed to save you money at the pump. The worst part is that most owners have no idea it is happening because the car still drives fine. It just drinks more gas than it should. But that setting is only the beginning. There are several hidden drains silently pulling energy from your hybrid battery every time you drive, and each one triggers the gas engine to compensate. Once you understand these drains and disable or adjust them, your Toyota hybrid starts performing the way it was engineered to. Let's go through every one of them. Drain number 1. The climate control defrost setting that secretly activates the air conditioning compressor. This is the single biggest hidden fuel drain on almost every Toyota hybrid, and it catches owners completely off guard. When you press the defrost button on your Toyota Camry hybrid, RAV4 hybrid, Corolla hybrid, Highlander hybrid, or Prius, the system does not simply blow warm air onto the windshield. It simultaneously activates the air conditioning compressor in the background. Toyota does this for a legitimate engineering reason. The air conditioning compressor removes moisture from the cabin air before it reaches the windshield, which prevents fogging and clears condensation faster. The problem is that on a hybrid, the air conditioning compressor is electrically driven and pulls power directly from the high-voltage hybrid battery pack. Every minute that compressor runs, it drains energy the battery would otherwise use to keep the car moving in electric mode. Once the battery state of charge drops low enough, the gasoline engine fires up to recharge it, even if driving conditions would normally allow full electric operation. Most owners leave the defrost setting running far longer than necessary, sometimes for entire commutes during cooler months. Toyota's own efficiency data shows that sustained air conditioning compressor operation can reduce hybrid fuel economy by 15 to 20%, depending on driving conditions. Over a single month of daily commuting, that compressor drain alone can add $30 to $40 to your fuel bill. The fix is simple. Use the defrost function only until the windshield clears, then switch back to normal heating, with the air conditioning compressor manually turned off. On most Toyota hybrids, this means pressing the air conditioning button on the climate control panel to deactivate the compressor while leaving the fan and heat running normally. Your windshield stays clear, and the hybrid battery stops bleeding energy to a system you no longer need. Drain number 2. Automatic climate control set to full auto mode. Toyota's automatic climate control is one of the most convenient features in any hybrid, but it is also one of the most aggressive battery drains when left unchecked. In full auto mode, the system constantly adjusts fan speed, temperature blend, and compressor activity to maintain the cabin temperature you set. It sounds efficient, but the reality is that the system overcompensates constantly. It runs the air conditioning compressor harder than needed, cycles the blower motor at high speeds, and makes frequent adjustments that pull significant energy from the hybrid battery. On Toyota hybrids like the Prius and Camry hybrid, the electric air conditioning compressor can draw between 1 and 3 kilowatts depending on load. That is energy the hybrid battery can no longer use for propulsion. The gasoline engine then runs more frequently and for longer durations to replenish the battery. Toyota designed auto mode to prioritize cabin comfort above fuel economy. That is the right decision for most drivers, but it means the system is never optimized for efficiency unless you take manual control. Switching to manual climate control and setting the fan to a lower speed with a moderate temperature gives you nearly the same comfort with significantly less battery drain. Many Toyota hybrid owners who make this single change report immediate improvements in fuel economy, sometimes gaining 3 to 5 miles per gallon on their daily commute. Drain number 3. Leaving the cabin heater on high during short trips. Cabin heating on a Toyota hybrid works differently than on a conventional car, and this difference costs owners real money when they do not understand it. In a traditional gasoline vehicle, heat comes from engine coolant that warms up naturally as the engine runs. It costs nothing extra. On a Toyota hybrid, the gasoline engine shuts off frequently during low-speed driving, city stops, and coasting. When the engine is off, coolant temperature drops. If the heater is set high, the hybrid system is forced to restart the gasoline engine specifically to generate heat, even when electric driving conditions are ideal. This is especially damaging to fuel economy during short trips in cold weather. The engine runs almost continuously just to keep the cabin warm, completely defeating the purpose of the hybrid system. Toyota's hybrid control module prioritizes cabin comfort, so it will sacrifice electric mode every time to maintain heater output. The solution is to reduce the heater setting to a moderate level and allow the cabin to warm gradually. Using heated seats instead of cranking the cabin heater is one of the most effective fuel-saving strategies on any Toyota hybrid. Heated seats draw a fraction of the energy, typically around 60 to 70 watts per seat, compared to the kilowatts required to run the engine for cabin heat. Toyota engineers designed the heated seat system partly for this reason, but the connection between seat heaters and fuel savings is almost never explained to owners. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. Drain number 4. The recirculation mode mistake that forces engine runtime. The cabin air recirculation button on Toyota hybrids serves a critical role in fuel economy, and almost nobody uses it correctly. When recirculation is off, the climate system pulls fresh air from outside the vehicle. That outside air must be heated or cooled from ambient temperature, which demands significantly more energy from the hybrid system. In winter, heating freezing outside air to a comfortable cabin temperature requires constant engine operation. In summer, cooling hot outside air demands maximum compressor output. Both scenarios drain the hybrid battery aggressively and trigger excessive gasoline engine runtime. Switching to recirculation mode tells the system to cycle the cabin air that is already conditioned. Since that air is already close to the target temperature, the system needs far less energy to maintain comfort. Toyota's climate system works most efficiently in recirculation mode during extreme temperatures, both hot and cold. The only time recirculation should be turned off is when the cabin feels stuffy or when windshield fogging becomes an issue. For daily commuting, keeping recirculation active during heating and cooling cycles can reduce hybrid battery drain by 20 to 30% compared to fresh air mode. That translates directly into fewer engine starts, more electric driving, and measurably lower fuel costs over the course of a month. Drain number 5. Excessive accessory load from USB charging and entertainment systems. Modern Toyota hybrids come loaded with USB ports, wireless charging pads, touchscreen infotainment systems, and premium audio setups. Each one of these draws power from the 12-volt auxiliary battery, which is continuously recharged by the high-voltage hybrid battery through a DC to DC converter. Individually, these loads seem trivial. A single USB port draws 10 watts. A wireless charging pad uses 7 to 15 watts. The infotainment screen pulls 30 to 50 watts. But when multiple devices are charging, the audio system is running, passengers are using rear USB ports, and the navigation screen is active, the combined draw can reach 150 to 200 watts or more. That constant parasitic load forces the DC to DC converter to work harder. It pulls more energy from the hybrid battery, and that triggers more frequent gasoline engine restarts. Over a 30-minute commute, this accessory drain might seem insignificant. Over a month of daily driving, it adds up to measurable fuel waste. The fix is not dramatic. Simply unplug devices that are not actively in use, reduce screen brightness when possible, and avoid running high-powered accessories when the vehicle is in EV mode at low speeds. These small adjustments help the hybrid battery maintain its charge longer and reduce how often the gasoline engine needs to intervene. Drain number 6. Tire pressure below Toyota's recommended specification. Tire pressure affects every vehicle on the road, but on a Toyota hybrid, the impact on fuel economy is magnified because of how the regenerative braking system works. When tires are underinflated, rolling resistance increases significantly. The electric motors have to work harder to maintain speed, which drains the hybrid battery faster. At the same time, underinflated tires reduce the efficiency of regenerative braking because the system has to overcome greater resistance to convert kinetic energy back into electrical energy. Toyota's recommended tire pressures are carefully calibrated for each hybrid model to balance ride comfort, handling, and energy efficiency. Even a 5 psi drop below specification can reduce hybrid fuel economy by 3 to 5%. On a vehicle averaging 40 miles per gallon, that reduction translates to roughly 2 fewer miles per gallon, which over a year of average driving adds up to more than $100 in wasted fuel. Checking tire pressure monthly using the hidden tire pressure monitoring display in Toyota's multi-information system keeps this silent drain from slowly increasing your fuel costs. Cold weather makes this worse because tire pressure drops approximately 1 psi for every 10 degrees Fahrenheit drop in ambient temperature. Drain number 7. Ignoring the EV mode button during ideal conditions. Most Toyota hybrid owners know they have an EV mode button somewhere on the dashboard or center console, but very few actually use it. Toyota designed EV mode to allow short distance, low speed, fully electric driving when conditions are ideal. Parking garages, residential neighborhoods, drive-thrus, and slow traffic are perfect scenarios for EV mode. When EV mode is active, the gasoline engine stays completely off, and the electric motor runs the car using only the hybrid battery. This means zero fuel consumption during those segments. The problem is that most owners either forget the button exists or assume it does not make a meaningful difference. Over the course of a week of daily driving, those short EV mode segments add up to significant fuel savings. Toyota's hybrid system will automatically exit EV mode if the battery drops too low or if too much power is demanded, so there is no risk of damaging the system by using it. The car protects itself. Drivers who actively engage EV mode during appropriate conditions consistently report better fuel economy than those who let the system manage everything automatically. Toyota gave you a manual override for a reason. Using it during low-demand driving keeps the gasoline engine off when it does not need to be running. Drain number 8. Driving mode left in Sport or Power mode. Toyota hybrid models that offer selectable driving modes give owners the ability to switch between eco, normal, and sport or power settings. Each mode changes how aggressively the gasoline engine and electric motor respond to throttle input. Sport mode prioritizes acceleration response and holds the engine at higher engine speeds longer. It feels faster and more responsive, but it comes at a steep fuel economy penalty. In sport mode, the hybrid system relies more heavily on the gasoline engine and draws harder on the hybrid battery during acceleration, then runs the engine longer to recharge what was consumed. Toyota's own testing data shows that sport mode can reduce hybrid fuel economy by 20 to 30% compared to eco mode under identical driving conditions. Many owners switch to sport mode once and forget about it, or they do not realize the car does not always reset to normal mode on restart. Leaving the vehicle in eco mode for daily commuting is one of the simplest and most effective ways to reduce hybrid battery drain and fuel consumption. Eco mode softens throttle response, optimizes climate control output, and encourages the system to stay in electric mode longer. The difference in acceleration feel is minor for normal driving, but the fuel savings are significant and consistent over time. Drain number 9. Failing to warm up the hybrid system properly in cold weather. Cold weather is the single biggest challenge for Toyota hybrid fuel economy, and most owners make it worse without realizing it. When temperatures drop below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, the hybrid battery chemistry slows, reducing its ability to accept and deliver charge efficiently. Toyota's hybrid control module responds by running the gasoline engine more frequently to compensate for reduced battery performance and to warm the catalytic converter for emissions compliance. Many owners think letting the car idle in the driveway to warm up helps. On a Toyota hybrid, extended idling wastes fuel and does not efficiently warm the hybrid battery because the battery warms fastest under light driving load, not stationary idle. The most efficient cold weather strategy is to start the vehicle and begin driving gently within 30 seconds. Light acceleration and moderate speeds allow the engine and hybrid battery to reach optimal operating temperature together. Toyota's hybrid system is designed to manage cold starts internally, and gentle driving lets it do so in the most fuel-efficient way possible. Letting the car sit and idle simply burns gasoline to generate heat that mostly escapes through the exhaust system instead of warming the components that matter. Drain number 10 is the scheduled maintenance interval. Most owners skip that destroys hybrid efficiency. Toyota hybrid vehicles rely on a dedicated hybrid battery cooling system that uses either a fan and filter or a liquid cooling circuit, depending on the model. On fan-cooled models like the Prius, Camry Hybrid, and many RAV4 hybrids, a small intake fan pulls cabin air through a filter and across the battery pack to maintain safe operating temperatures. When that filter clogs with dust, pet hair, or debris, airflow drops and battery temperature rises. A hot hybrid battery loses charging efficiency, delivers less power to the electric motors, and forces the gasoline engine to pick up the slack. Toyota recommends inspecting the hybrid battery cooling filter regularly, but it is buried in the service manual and almost never mentioned during routine dealer visits. The filter is typically located under or behind the rear seat, depending on the model. Cleaning or replacing it takes minutes and costs almost nothing. Yet, neglecting it slowly degrades the entire hybrid system's efficiency, adding fuel costs month after month while shortening the long-term life of the most expensive single component in the vehicle. A clean hybrid battery cooling filter is one of the cheapest and most impactful maintenance items on any Toyota hybrid, and it is the one most owners never touch. Every drain you have seen in this video pulls energy from the same place, your Toyota's hybrid battery. When that battery loses charge faster than it should, the gasoline engine compensates by running more often, burning more fuel, and defeating the purpose of owning a hybrid. None of these fixes require tools, dealer visits, or modifications. They require understanding how your hybrid system thinks and adjusting a few settings and habits to let it work the way Toyota designed it. A Toyota hybrid that runs with minimal battery drain stays in electric mode longer, starts the engine less often, and delivers the fuel economy numbers that made you buy it. If you are enjoying this video, consider watching this one where I am sharing the exact maintenance schedule that helps Toyota hybrids reach 300,000 miles and beyond.